For our culture segment today, reporter Megan O'Brien investigated teen driver's licenses around the world. Megan, what did you find out?
In most countries, getting a driver's license is still a symbol of the transition from childhood into the adult world. Teenagers can be in charge and don't need to be driven around by their parents. I concentrated on the differences in requirements for this important milestone. The driving age varies from country to country, and within large countries like the United States, from state to state, although 18 is the most common age for legal driving around the world. I was surprised to find that the country with the youngest age is Ethiopia, where 14-year-olds can get a full license. New Zealand has the next youngest, which is 15. In two countries, the United States and Canada, the legal age varies by state. In Alberta, Canada, a 14-year-old can get a learner's permit and drive with an adult. Only an 18-year-old can have a full license there, though. In the U.S., the state of South Dakota allows teenagers to have an unrestricted license at the age of 14 years, 3 months. In most other states, the age is 16, with some restrictions. In California, for example, new drivers cannot drive friends around for the first 6 months. And if you are under 18 in New York City, you cannot drive with a junior license at all. My advice is to check with the local authorities, since driving regulations change frequently. In my interviews, I was surprised to find out that in Japan, a driver's license costs over $4,000. Hungary seems to have the most barriers to teenage driving. Future drivers have to pass a general physical exam and a first aid test. Then, the practical driving test covers everything from mechanics to road signs. Teenagers also have to take over 20 hours of lessons with a driving instructor before their road test. Here in the U.S., a license is generally much easier to get, with low fees and few requirements. Many young teenagers I interviewed couldn't wait to get their licenses. They said they'd be happy to run errands for their parents or drive their siblings around. For those over the age of 18, though, the excitement had quickly worn off. And insurance companies and sociologists are noticing a surprising trend. It seems that even those who are eligible to get a license often put off what used to be such an important marker of adulthood. Although California is a car-driven society, I have found a number of reasons for this delay. First, cars and insurance are very expensive. Second, parents today seem overprotective of teenagers and don't see driving them around as a burden. Strangely, the teenagers don't seem to mind either. Third, some teenagers just like the carefree feeling of not having a car, and others don't want the pressure of having to drive friends around. Things have certainly changed since I was 16. Okay, that's it for the Culture Report. Until next week, this is Megan O'Brien for KRPZ.